Coming up on Patriots Today, the latest coaching rumors for Jerod Mayo's staff as he starts to put things together. Are the Patriots confirmed to be drafting a quarterback with their first pick? And is the GOAT back in New England? Lots to get into here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. But listen, I always strive to be better in life. I know Rolly does as well. And I want to challenge you guys to be better. Last week, our most liked video hit 250 likes. We feel good about that. I think we can do better. I think we can hit 251 today. Hell, let's shoot for 300 plus. If you want more Patriots content, if you love this channel and this team, and hey, if you just want to be better this week than last, hit that like button. All right, let's get to this from Evan Lazar. He says, DeMarcus Covington is a strong favorite to be the Patriots' next defensive coordinator. That's from Albert Breer. Would be a well-deserved promotion, well-liked by the players, and coached by far the best position group on the team, the defensive line. Covington is on the defensive coordinator track, might as well be here. Here's more from Albert Breer saying, the first domino to fall could be Covington landing the defensive coordinator job. Covington, as it stands right now, is a strong favorite and brings 7 years of experience working in the building to the table. And Rolly, I know you're a big fan of this idea. Tell the people why.
Yeah, listen, I really like DeMarcus Covington. He did a fantastic job with that defensive line, as Evan Lazar pointed out. You also just take a look at some of the better players that come out of this Patriots team. Christian Barmore was arguably the best player on this team this year. Like, you could actually argue that. And he's obviously being coached every day by DeMarcus Covington. Plus, I'm also a fan of going a little bit younger at the head or the coaching positions. DeMarcus Covington is 34. Jerod Mayo is 37. You can create a really good tandem there between your DC and head coach that are young, coming up together in these new roles. But they've also had a lot of good success in the NFL already together. You look specifically at the Patriots' rushing defense in 2023, they ranked 4th in overall rush yards allowed, 1st in yards per carry allowed, 11th tied in rushing touchdowns allowed, and then rushing first down percentage, 2nd in the NFL. So this rushing defense was fantastic for New England this year, and that was spearheaded by Covington, who coaches the D-line, and Jerod Mayo, who is the code linebackers coach, and also is the person installing the defensive game plan on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah, I mean, look, we know that this defense is really, really good across the board, which I think is a big reason why Jerod Mayo is the head coach. But I think it's also a big reason that, like, I'm a believer that this team needs some outside voices, but I don't think that has to be on the defensive side of the ball. I think that needs to be offense, and I think that's what's going to end up happening, clearly, with Bill O'Brien no longer in the fold. This seems like a natural promotion, and it's one of those where if you don't promote them, you could lose them, whether it's this year or next year. So if this is a guy Jerod Mayo trusts, if they work well together and the players clearly like him, it makes sense, Rolly, to keep this guy around. He's been in the building for, close to a decade now, which certainly is valuable as well to keep familiar faces that have had success inside the building. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I agree. And the one thing that you'd have to keep your eye on if it is Covington who becomes the defensive coordinator for New England is well, obviously you would expect Covington to call the plays, but he never did that, right? As good as we talked about Covington being with that defensive line and Mayo installing the game plan on a week-to-week basis, Steve Belichick was the one calling the plays on Sunday. Who knows? Maybe he is still going to be on the staff. I doubt it. If Bill Belichick gets a job somewhere else in Atlanta, maybe Steve follows.
Not.
I don't know, man. It'll be interesting, but I'd also like Steve Belichick to still be on this staff because he's done a really good job. I know he was only on the staff because of his dad, but he's a really good defensive mind, and he has been doing a great job calling plays.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there as Bill's future is certainly somewhat hanging in the balance. Do you want DeMarcus Covington as the Patriots defensive coordinator? Type Y for yes, or you can type in for no. Roy and I say yes. What say you? Pin comment on today's video. We'll discuss more after the YouTube ad break.
Yeah, I definitely do want him, as you mentioned just there a second ago, Harrison. I like the youth. I like the movement. I also think he's done a terrific job. And if you get Covington as DC, well, guess what? It just gives you an extra chance and boost, I guess, to re-sign Christian Barmore. He's not a free agent, but he is due for an extension, and boy, should the Patriots extend him. He has been terrific over the last couple of years. I expect him to take another leap this year, especially if Covington stays on staff, potentially as DC. Extend Barmore and keep Covington as defensive coordinator. I'm all in.
Yeah, and look, if Matt Judon's back, that's only going to make Barmore and this defensive lineman group even better. So lots to be excited about there. We'll see if that gets finalized or not. All right, let's talk about the NFL draft. Are the New England Patriots for sure going to be drafting a quarterback? Daniel Jeremiah, one of the best in the business. He's with NFL Network. He does believe that is where this thing is headed. Here's what DJ had to say. Quote, I would go young quarterback, veteran receiver. I think those veteran receivers really, really benefit and help a young quarterback. I would feel like, man, I don't want to be back here 2 years from now and we're in the same spot. Maybe I get 2 years out of Kirk Cousins, and that's great, but then we start all over again. I wouldn't want to do that, and I don't think there's any guarantee that you're going to be picking in this position where there's quality players at the position staring you in the face. I think the opportunity it costs to pass on one is too large, and we've talked about this, Rolly. Like, sure, you could draft Marvin Harrison Jr. 3, and I'm still open to that idea, but yes, there's an unknown with Jerod Mayo as the head coach, but like for a quarter century now, the Patriots are not a team that drafts very high and is in position to draft a premium prospect at the quarterback position. They are this year. Worst case, they're getting one of these three players if they want them. I'm kind of leaning toward Daniel Jeremiah, man, where you're kind of like, all right, yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. is safer. I think he's the best player in this draft. I'm not going to be upset if you pass on him, but if you draft a quarterback and hit, that is much more impactful from a team standpoint than Marvin Harrison Jr. is. Draft a quarterback, sign a receiver in free agency, come back in round 2 or 3, add another young receiver as well. I think that gives you the best chance to be successful for the foreseeable future, which, listen, as long as Josh Allen's in the AFC East, like, you got to have somebody that can battle with that guy, and clearly you don't have that right now. And by the way, Kirk Cousins isn't that either.
No, yeah, I completely agree. I've been on the train of Marvin Harrison Jr. over Jayden Daniels at 3, but I think I have changed my tune just because the plethora of wide receivers that are available in the 2nd and 3rd round. I mean, listen, half the wide receiver ones in the NFL right now were not first-round picks.
Yeah.
Like, if you really think about it, like T. Higgins, he wasn't a first-round pick. I know he's not a wide receiver 1, but he has that potential. A.J. Brown wasn't a wide receiver 1. D.K. Metcalf wasn't a wide receiver 1.
Diggs.
Deebo Samuel wasn't. Like, all these top-tier wide receivers, like Cooper Kupp, like, they're not
Puka
first-round wide
Nacua.
receivers. You could find him in free agency. You can find him in the draft. I know MHJ is the best prospect in this class, but I am starting to really get on the train of one of those 3 quarterbacks, and then you could go wide receiver in free agency, whether it be Marquise Brown, T. Higgins if he's available, Mike Evans, Michael Pittman Jr., Calvin Ridley, and then just go young quarterback. I think that is the way you go now.
Well, and I think more than anything else, again, just to put a wrap on that conversation, is you're probably not going to be picking in this range again. So, like, this might be your best chance to really reset at quarterback with a high-quality prospect. Hit that subscribe button. We've got Patriots coaching news, draft rumors, and a whole lot more to discuss in the coming days, weeks, and months, especially when it comes to the draft. We're trying to get to 8,000 subs by the Super Bowl. Help us get there. We're 372 away. Publishing videos almost every single day. We also have this Patriots t-shirt combo, short sleeve, long sleeve pairing here on sale. Go check it out. Links in the comments and description of this video. It's chatsports.com/PatriotsShirtCombo. Again, that link is in the comments and description. Click and shop today, chatsports.com/PatriotsShirtCombo. You compare the quarterbacks, obviously, and this is a clear top 3 at this point in time. Caleb Williams, Drake Maye, and Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels, from a raw statistical standpoint, is going to win out here. Caleb Williams, Drake Maye, I think, check more of the boxes of, upside and, physical stature when it comes to being thicker. Jayden Daniels was a little thin. Obviously, the arm talent and stuff like that. But Jayden Daniels is a very good prospect. You can utilize more QB run with a guy like him, which can help a young quarterback who's got that ability kind of ease his way into his career. He doesn't have to diagnose everything that a defense is doing as a rookie. So I really think even if it is Daniels, Rolly, like, you're getting a player that at least has a good chance of becoming a very good NFL quarterback.
I mean, I absolutely love it. And the best part about these three quarterbacks, by the way, are that you are not going to have a statue in the pocket. The past 3 seasons of if the Patriots offensive line gave up one person in the backfield, well, the play's done. Those are over. Caleb Williams, if you traded up for him, is one of the best playmakers. He gets compared to Patrick Mahomes. Drake Maye is very mobile as well. He really actually puts his body in harm's way more than he probably should when he's scrambling and trying to make plays. And then Jayden Daniels is the most mobile out of all 3 of these guys, right? So, the best part about whatever quarterback you take is they are a dual threat regardless. Now, there is a little bit of Jayden Daniels' drawbacks in terms of arm strength in comparison to Williams and May, but he makes up for it maybe in mobility. These 3 guys are not statues in the pocket, and outside of the 1 year of Cam Newton, as long as you love Tom Brady and Mac Jones, it's been statues in the pocket for the last 25 years.
Yeah, let us know who you guys want. CW for Williams, DM for May, JD for Jayden Daniels. And it's such a good point by you, Rolly, because in today's NFL, not only is it just more valuable to have a dual threat quarterback because it just stresses out defenses, I think more than that is the offensive line play is getting worse and worse coming out of college football. It is rare to have an elite offensive line. Well, so how do you combat that? You have a quarterback that can escape danger. I mean that's really it. And all 3 of these guys can. Mac Jones couldn't do that. Bailey Zappi couldn't do that. It doesn't mean that those non-mobile quarterbacks have zero chance, but it's not like 20 years ago, man, 10 years ago even, where, I don't think a Peyton Manning would have as much success in today's NFL. So I think that's another appeal to drafting one of these guys as well. A little bit of news. The GOAT, Michael Jordan, has signed a futures contract. He played baseball. He played basketball. Now he's playing football. Jokes aside, different Michael Jordan, former Ohio State offensive lineman, I believe. He has actually played a decent amount in the NFL at guard, 29 starts, 55 games overall. Was on the Packers practice squad last season. Futures deal, you're going to see a lot of these pour in over the next few weeks and so forth. So adding a off-season body, if you will, to the 90-man roster is Michael Jordan, a New England Patriot. All right, guys, appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's show. Be sure to subscribe for more Patriots coverage. We'll be back at it tomorrow.